Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Michael. I just wanted to say my name is Muse. Wow. My name is Michael. I am reacting to new music videos on this channel, or at least bands, artists, and music videos that are new to me. And at the moment we are going through the Wow Signal, the new album of Muse, which is my absolutely favorite band on this earth. Background story, I have heard some of the singles before. We did reactions to Cryogen and to Night Shift Superstar, and now we are going through the whole album. So every and each song will get a video on this channel. My goal is to implement more Muse on this channel. In the past, my Muse reactions mostly got blocked. I will just try this again and again. So I was on holiday recently. That's why I haven't uploaded any new video over the last 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks, which also, it was my birthday. It was my holiday. And then one of my favorite bands, Muse and the Pretty Reckless, decided to publish their new albums at the same time. So I had no time to do reaction videos to any of this. So it was a tough time, but now we're doing all of them in a row. And we are going to react right now in this video to the third track of the Wow Signal from Muse, which is called Shimmering Scars. I'm looking at something that looks like a shimmering scar. I mean, it looks more like an asteroid, a comet, or something like this, but at the same time, it's shimmering. I know that this track also just got a visualizer, so it's not an official single, or at least not yet. And I already reacted to The Dark Forest, and the visualizer was already stunning, so I'm expecting something similar here. The Dark Forest, I already mentioned that, is something like a conspiracy theory or anything like that. I'm not 100% sure. We have titles on this album which are called Night Shift Superstar. We have hexagons. So everything is a little bit together with the design and the visualizers and the music videos, very much into the space theme. And the Wow Signal itself, the title, is about this signal, let's call it signal, from 1977, if I'm not mistaken, which is one of the big questions of the world, because it never has been solved where the signal came from. So it's not like a strange Muse album title. It literally refers to this signal. Why am I saying that? Because Shimmering Scars is a title that does not directly, that I do not directly connect to space or anything like that. What I expect, though, is that the lyrics might be like that, because in the other songs they definitely always implement something, and even if it's just like cosmic metaphors or anything like this. So I wonder where we are going here. Shimmering, yes, mystery around it a little bit, but other than that, I have no idea what to expect. We haven't had a ballad yet, though, so I'm wondering if this is the first one. It sounds very dramatic. It could be super heavy, it could be a ballad, I don't know. Before we start, feel free to like and subscribe, give some love to the notification button. As always, leave your feedback in the comment sections, always appreciated. And if you have any other request, if you want me to react to any other music video of Muse or any other artist, feel free to let me know through the comments, through Patreon, email, whatever. And we have a title playlist where I drop every song that I react to, blah, blah, blah. Let's just start with the third track of the Wow Signal, which is called Shimmering Scars. Let's go. Oh yes, piano. We love piano on this channel. Very dark.
The coldest summer, you withdrew further and gave a little less. You took the sun away. You say you're with me, then ghost right through me. I'll never understand how it slipped away.
Very breathy.
All I ever dreamed of has fled to the stars and hides in the dark. And everyone I reached for, they tear me apart, encoding my heart with shimmering scars.
Interesting vocals.
Stonewall silence, I beg for guidance.
almost a little bit Bad
Every
Omens
vow
like
we made
the sound.
unraveled through the pain. And if you say it's nothing, then why are your eyes still flooding?
The piano very reduced.
Out. I carried half the blame.
Wow.
All I ever dreamed of is fed to the stars and hides in the dark.
Oh wow.
Everyone I reach,
The little effects in the background are nice.
they tear me apart and counting my heart with shimmering scars.
Oh. Oh, the organs sound so good. Such a sad song though.
Was I not enough? Was I not enough? What still remains? I don't wanna break. Was I not enough?
It sounds so personal.
I can't start again. I carry half the blame. I carried half the blame.
Oh, I like that.
All I ever dreamed of is fed to the stars and hides in the dark. Everyone I reached for, they tear me apart and counting my heart with shimmering scars. I can't start again.
Wow. I have so many thoughts already. Wow. Is it ending up somewhere? No. That wouldn't actually fit to the lyrics and the whole song. So we got our first ballad, and wow, what can I say? Maybe let's start like this. I always say I am a huge Muse fan. When I say that, it doesn't mean that I love everything that Muse do. What I love about Muse is, first of all, they check all my boxes with the music styles they do. Might be the sci-fi synthy stuff, might be the rock, Brit rock, whatever they do, the prog rock. What I love about them though is they always try also something outstanding or not that ordinary, which obviously is never or very often controversial when it comes to the music taste. Sometimes you just love the things they do, sometimes you don't. And that's okay, but it always keeps them relevant. It always keeps them exciting. I really don't understand how people sometimes refer to them like to Coldplay or something like that. I really think that's not fair. You can have a different music taste, but hating on the music they do is weird, to be honest, because they prove in such a great way what kind of musicians they are. If you have ever been to a live show of Muse, you will be blown away by the quality, the effort they bring on stage, and so on and so on. Why am I mentioning that? Because that was a long intro for saying sometimes they also can be a bit cheesy. Here they are not, and I just said in the beginning that they might bring lyrics into their songs that always might bring some cosmic metaphors, just to keep the concept and the theme of the album. What I like though is here it's very reduced. We have some, and if you want to dive deeper into the interpretation, you might even find some more, but not as many as we, for example, have heard in Night Shift Superstar or The Dark Forest, which makes sense because of what I'm going to say now. I have the feeling that this song is on this album because it's a personal one. I'm not sure when we had such a song with a personal touch on a Muse album. It's been a while. I know that Matt, the singer, was going through some heavy shit when it comes to relationships and stuff. I have the feeling this is heavily referring to these times. Even if not, it perfectly catches the chaos in your head when you just had a breakup, for example. Let's talk about the title, Shimmering Scars. So we have a contrast. Shimmering is beautiful, Scar is not beautiful. Even in the song, we have lines where he's referring where you could interpret hope, but then also we have lines that are clearly saying, I don't know how to continue. I think the song is not a song about hope. I don't think the song is about giving up. I think the song is about the in-between. It's the chaos. You break out in tears, the next hour you feel like relieved, and then the next hour something reminds you of your relationship and you fall back into this black hole. Now I'm starting with metaphors of with cosmic metaphors, but that's what I mean. That's why it still fits. That's why it still deserves its place on this album. Actually, the Space has such a cool well, Space gives you space for exactly expressing this time, the in-between. You fall in kind of a void. You kind of lose yourself for a moment. For example, giving up hope, which might be not the usual you. You don't understand why it's happening, but you understand that you take half of the blame. I think that was what he was literally singing about. And space, the whole universe, we don't understand that much of it. We just discover it. We are praying to it. We are questioning, is there another life out there? But we never know. So it has a lot to do with belief. It has a lot to do with fantasy. And I think that fits. I think from all the songs so far, this is the theme and the topic that is the best match for it, to be honest. And that's why, for example, the movie Interstellar works so great for me. I know some people that are not happy with the end of Interstellar. I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect because it combines love and science, which might be a contrast at some point. And why not putting the mystery and the sci-fi in? Why not finding the mystery and the sci-fi in love? And I think this is literally what this song is kind of. Just from the music, I love that we still have the orchestral support here, which gives everything obviously like a little bit more cinematic, dramatic style, which is fine for me because it was still very reduced. It was not overdone. We have a little guitar solo, which I always love when Muse do that. It did remind me a little bit of Invincible, which has like, it just did remind me of that beautiful solos. And then in between, we had these organs, which almost gave me church vibes. And when I think about church, I think about the belief in something, aliens, love, whatever. Looking into a black space and hoping or believing something is there. But at the same time, it does remind me, again, church, but it does remind me of marriage, of weddings, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if they did this intentionally, but it would also make perfect sense on this album, on this track. What I love most about this song is probably the concept, and also that Matt here is really very. He uses his breath a lot. In between, sometimes he's very crisp. We barely hear him very crisp on albums. Live, yes, but on a track, you could literally interpret that he is kind of crying out his heart here sometimes. Um, I am a huge fan of Ghosts, not the band, but the song from Muse on the last album. It doesn't have that many fans though, because it's a little bit too perfect produced and mixed and everything, and it's not like the piano, yeah, is beautiful, but also by the rules, let's say. And here I have the feeling nothing is really by the rules. We hear a Matt Bellamy here that is going a little bit, well, it almost sounds like they let him alone in the music studio when when they were recording that. Very, very personal, very individual lines there. Very, even though it has a structure, just the way he sings, it always had like these super little elements that are different from the last line or the last verse and so on and so on. So I'm really digging this one. I think that if you start with the album and you hear the Dark Forest and Night Shift Superstar, this is a big switch going from Night Shift Superstar into this one. This is a completely vibe test for you. So I think after hearing it for the first time, when you literally listen for the whole album for the first time, Shimmering Scars could disappear in your memory for some seconds. But I think if you listen to this album more often, I think Shimmering Scars could be one of those tracks that grow and grow and grow. As you might realize, my brain is still working, still thinking of all the things here. It's really a beautiful written song. The melody writing is super beautiful. And probably if I think about this a little bit longer, I have even 100,000 things more to say about this one. What I can say so far, The Dark Forest, Night Shift Superstar, Shimmering Scars, these are the first 3 tracks of the album. And I can already say they have to fuck this up big time to make this album worse than Will of the People. I'm not going to hate on Will of the People for the rest of my reactions, I promise, but it was really the last satisfying album, which has other reasons that we might maybe discuss on this channel for some other times. But I just want to say the quality of the first 3 tracks here is really high. So let's not wait and go into the other 6 ones and 7 ones. Sorry, my math teacher hated me. The next 7 songs, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoy this album a lot, not only because I'm a fan. I'm literally my expectations now are super, super high. And man, I love this band. Always remember, music is beautiful, and so are you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in one of my next reactions, maybe the next track on this album. Bye bye.